Talking about
That
our favorite, because this year marks the 40th anniversary of not only the comics, but the toys and the Generation 1 cartoon. So that's pretty cool. At least I think it's cool. Maybe we can hit
It
y'all with some Transformers knowledge.
But by the way, nothing to do with Transformers. But speaking of transforming, have you noticed the change in my background?
Hold on. Let's bring you to the back forefront. And yeah, hey, yeah, I got to get mine up there. Mine's still
There we
rolled
go.
up. I got to get a frame for mine.
I know it'll be a shock to the system for people looking for the painting, but I feel like comics curing cancer needs the little boost of recognition.
That is great. And nice flags to promote Pride Month.
That's right.
yes.
I'm Pride Monthing this bitch up.
Do it. Go with it, man. I mean, hell yeah. It is freaking awesome. I got my daughter. I was talking about playing D&D next week, and I kept saying we play them on Friday, but I kept getting the dates wrong. I kept saying the 8th, and she went, "Dad, that's Pride Day." I went, "It is."
Oh, that's Friday where you guys are. Oh wow.
I said on Friday. She said, "Dad, that's Saturday." I went, "Oh, okay, so we're gonna do it on Friday." But I'm going to take a minute and say hello to the chat in my own little way. And yeah, I stole the idea from Durs, but every great idea is somebody ripped off from someone else. So here we go.
Hello there.
There we go. So in the chats, we've got, first and foremost, if you want to join the panel and talk about Transformers, the link is pinned at the top. We got Wellbore saying, "Sup, Tony?" KBDM, how you doing? Then we got Wellborg again. Wellbore. He's not a Borg, y'all. He's a Wellbore. My brother Timothy Williams. What's up, my fellow Comic Conrads? How you doing, brother? I can't. I do a horrible Russian accent, if you want to call it that. We got Vogs. Hey, y'all. On the panel, in the chat.
As Chris would say, omnipresent.
Omnipresent. He's everywhere, like Cliff. Look at these majestic legends. There's
Yeah, we're
Durs.
missing
And
you, Durs. Where
yeah, we're
are you?
missing Durs. We're missing the head pimp, the Godfather, and Cliff on Comics.
That guy.
So I'm going to take a minute and go through some community news, and I'm going to start it off with. Well, let me get my stuff here. And I keep meaning to lower the volume on that, and I keep forgetting to do that. So, this week's community news, we're going to start off with, as soon as I get my stuff going here, we are 2 weeks away from the start of the CBC Awards. You can go to www.cbcawards.org to cast your nominations. This is a nomination period for your favorite YouTube creators, content creators in over 30 categories. And, if you think they deserve it, hell, man, nominate them. And, as always, I have to do my shameless plug for me, which
Acknowledge me!
that's all in fun. And another thing for Brian I want to point out is that today is the very last day you can contribute to his Kickstarter for the doctor. He is 100% fully funded. He's actually like 144% funded. I know he achieved what they call it, tier 2 goals, and there's like a
Yep.
third tier he was going for. I don't know if he made it or not. I was actually finally able to Friday to contribute something. I got to do the $25 3 covers thing, and because I love this cover, y'all, but I'm going to point something out because I think this cover is awesome. But don't you think right there where he's holding his fist, he should have had a syringe?
That would have been funny.
Because it would have been reminiscent to Wolverine popping his claws. But it's still an awesome cover nonetheless. And then I'm going to move into next.
But he's also
another.
not quite that kind of doctor, so that's what I'm wondering about.
Well, yeah, that's true. I just figured doctor, syringe. I didn't know. Maybe it's just something I didn't know, but that's still pretty cool cover. I love it.
Yep.
And I was hoping to get him on. I was hoping to get him on maybe still he can come on and talk about it because I want him to talk about that in the CBC Awards. And another person, another friend of mine that's local, he's one of the owners. He's one of the B's in B&B Collections. He's going to have his own Kickstarter, and that's Brandon Jones. And his Kickstarter, he wrote a comic, first issue. It's called The Evil That Men Do. I know very little about the plot, but his Kickstarter is coming soon, and it is published by Black Box Comics. And you can go to Kickstarter and click follow, and they'll let you know when it launches. And I'm hoping that next week's show, we will have Brandon, AKA the real Bonesy Jonesy, not the fake Bonesy Jonesy, but the real Bonesy Jonesy, on the show talking about his Kickstarter. So I'm hoping we'll be able to make that happen. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And every time I see the title, The Evil That Men Do, I think of that Iron Maiden song from Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, because Iron Maiden is my jam. And then last but not least, I did today's show at 2 p.m. Eastern because I'd already had it set up. And it was really hectic trying to get everything ready because I go to church. I get home about noon. So I got an hour to set everything up. Now, a lot of it was already done, but I still went ahead and still had those last minute things. And Durst made a suggestion that I move the show to 3 p.m. Eastern. So that way I'll have like 2 hours to play with. So starting next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, it's a lock. That's it. No more moving around, no more changing. It'll be 3 p.m. Eastern starting next week. We got some more comments in the chat. Oh, here we go. Hey, Joe, you want to pop on, man? The link is at the top of the chat. But he says, oh, that's Cliff, sorry. Joe, Cliff for Sexiest Man of the Year.
Oh, that's sweet. Probably not, but that's really sweet.
We got Meatwad number 1 and Entropy in Comics. How you doing? And Up the Irons. Every day, all day. And if you're not familiar with it, that's an Iron Maiden term. And he's not here, but I want to, since we're talking about Transformers, well, that's for Matt Comics by the Bay.
Oh, there we go. But I'm still here. We all know I appreciate a good wiener.
Hey. I was going to say my wiener has a first name, but that's the jingle for the baloney. Never mind. Now, but
32,000 a year and food for and a food compensation for anyone who wants that job.
So, but out of all the community stuff that we talked about, hey, we got Mark from Legion of Comics. How you doing, Mark?
We talking Transformers?
Yeah, here in a little bit we will.
And wieners?
And wieners,
Well,
yeah, dude.
I'm always talking
And
about
transforming wieners?
Yeah.
Last night
yeah.
I was talking about transforming wieners.
It
so
is 2024, Vogs. It is 2024.
Hey, I actually Googled last night just because I was bored and I'm at the house by myself. Transformer hot dogs, and there are actually toys of hot dogs that transform.
Yeah, I remember the McDonald's transforming toys. I don't think there was a hot dog from McDonald's, but you remember the fries and the little
oh yeah, I had the chicken nugget.
Yeah, the chicken nugget.
But welcome, Mark. How you doing?
Fine.
Well, I was fixing to say the last community news I had was Cliff. Why don't you tell them about what you've got coming up in on your special seminar? And I'm gonna put you in the
my special seminar coming up on June 6th, which, if I am remembering correctly, is this Thursday night.
Everybody.
Rich has arrived just in time. Rich already witnessed me having a mental breakdown, so this is like excellent timing. So, June 6th, I'm doing my suicide awareness seminar. It's through the Westchester Guidance Center in Westchester, New York. So basically what we do is we talk about basically how to recognize if someone is experiencing some form of suicidal ideation and approaching them. So it's called QPR, and it's question as in question them. Are you okay? Or are you having thoughts? You said something that was really concerning. I know you're going through a lot lately. Persuade is to persuade them to get help. And then the last part is just you want to walk away with some plan. So we basically have like the gold key plan, like the 5-star plan is you walk away, they absolutely are like, yes, I'm going to seek help. Thank you for offering to go with me. Let's do that. And like with the bare minimum of like, okay, I'll meet you on Sunday for lunch or church or whatever. But the last part is you want some kind of response, some kind of commitment for them that they're not going to hurt themselves in some way, shape, or form. So we go through the entire context, mostly the question part, because that's the hardest for people is approaching somebody about the topic and how to approach them. And we do all that over an hour, and then I hang out and wait for people to ask me, wonderful questions. And because I've lost multiple people to suicide, I feel very passionate about this, and I'm very big on suicide prevention and awareness education.
I like this shirt and how it goes with the conversation right now.
Whose shirt?
Cliff's shirt.
Oh, Cliff's
That's
shirt.
that's a deep cut, Mark. That's a deep cut.
Not for me, it's not.
Well, no, but I mean it's a deep cut for Zack Snyder. But yes,
he put out a whole line of shirts that went to a suicide awareness charity after the
because
fact.
of his daughter, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw that shirt, I'm like, this is intentional or subconscious, one of the two.
No, the thought went through my mind. It's not exactly why I picked it, but it went through my mind when I grabbed it.
You grabbed it and thought to yourself, for autumn.
Probably. Oh, I figured it was, if anyone's going to catch it, well, then at least there we go. And of course you caught it. I should have known.
Yeah, me and my wife both cried like babies when that movie closed and it said for autumn.
Oh God.
Like knowing the story going into it, it was brutal seeing that. Like it was beautiful at the same time, but
yeah, it was really difficult. And
Yeah.
anyhow, it's really tough. And also, one of the things that we discuss is that suicide rates among those who've lost someone to suicide, they actually increase, and I thought that was really, number one, tragic, but I thought it was really interesting, especially Jason David Frank. He lost his stepdaughter to suicide, I think only a year before his death.
Brother
and his brother
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 events in his lifetime.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say I'm going to go to the chat, but I want to say hello to Christina Payne.
Hi, Christina. I was going to say, if we need to segue, we could always talk about my my new segment, Cliff on Coochie. So like that always helps to lift the mood.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
What's up, Tony? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today?
Pretty good. Hey, Marcus.
Feeling real
How are
weird
you,
right now.
How are you?
So who wants to start first talking about Transformers Vogs? We're going to educate you tonight, brother.
No, I know a handful about Transformers. I just have one comic. I love Transformers.
Well, I mean, do you want to start first, or I'm gonna
I'll
go last?
last.
What is
go
the
next
topic about? I mean, that's so bold. 40 years. Who wants to start?
I'm talking about, this is the 40th anniversary of the comics, the toys, and the cartoon. So I mean, they all launched in the same year. So I mean, for me it was the cartoon and then the toys, and then later on I picked up issue 14 of the comic, and that's where I started reading the comic. And
I'll just say it. Why not?
Say it, Boggs. Say that.
I wish I grew up with the cartoons because I've seen reruns of the cartoons on YouTube and stuff. And man, I wish I watched the cartoons. But yeah, I of course I was born in the 90s. I grew up with the Transformers,
yeah, and it ain't just. I was gonna say, it ain't just Generation 1. Some people grew up watching Beast Wars. I mean, or
That's
I grew up watching. I watched the Transformers movies with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox and those.
Now
guys.
you're talking my language. Here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm the resident Michael Bay stan, so have no
and
shame.
then
I
also really enjoyed Revenge of the Fallen, but No offense to Transformers. I need to pick it up again. I didn't watch the Mark Wahlberg ones.
Oh,
I
you're
do
missing
need to
out.
watch those.
Yeah, they're good.
Holy shit, they're good.
But yeah, I've always been a big Optimus Prime fan. Peter Cullen is a legend. Is a legend in the voice acting business, and um, I've always liked Optimus Prime. Megatron's awesome. Bumblebee's awesome. We all know the characters. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I started with the movies, of course, but like I got the free
Oh,
comic book day edition one, and I definitely need to go in my comic shop and see if they have more like regular Transformer issues. But yeah, I I wouldn't say Transformers was top of the top for me as a kid or growing up and watching the movies. But like, yeah, I I didn't avoid it. I enjoyed them thoroughly.
cool. Does anybody else want to go next, or
I mean, I could talk a little bit. I mean, you know, I was born in the mid '70s, so the Transformers cartoon, man. You rush home from
yeah,
school,
yeah,
you watch the cartoon. That was always awesome. As far as comics, though, man, was never a huge comic Transformers fan per se. I just, you know, I always liked the street level hero. I just didn't really feel. I don't want to say they didn't have a place, but I just never really got into them. I did watch the first three movies. I missed I guess the last two, or is it? I saw the first two and missed the last two.
Forget how many there are now.
Yeah, they were
There's
awesome.
a handful.
I thought they were all good. They're all worth watching. I just never got around to watching the last two. And it's funny. I actually bought a lot of books off of somebody for like less than $1 a book, and Transformers #1 was in it. It was beat the hell, but I sent it out to get graded anyway a few years ago. So I got a
Ooh.
3
there you go. There you go.
So the book cost me like $1. The slab cost me like 20. That's about what it's worth.
Yeah.
But that's the one Transformers book that I kind of have. I have a few, but that's the only one that's worth anything, so to speak. So, and I still have my original Mega Supreme. I didn't have a chance. I didn't have time to pull it out to show today, but I do have it. It is complete.
And that is awesome. Does it
Yep.
still run around the track and everything?
It does. Yep.
That
I
is
keep the
cool.
battery out of it so it doesn't get corroded, but I do still have it.
That is
That's
cool.
dope. Yeah, like I said, Peter Cullen was a legend, dude. Like I would say, whenever sorry to interrupt whoever's going next. Whenever I think of animated shows, the top two I think of are this is my opinion. People can have their own for like superheroes or whatever. Is Kevin Conroy Batman
Mm-hmm.
and Peter Cullen for Transformers.
So don't sleep on the I guess it was like that late '80s animated movie either, man. That was pretty freaking good
Yeah.
with Rodimus Prime at the end and all that. But I don't remember it. But
I don't think
Okay.
anyone's sleeping on that. I still think most people feel that's the greatest
Yeah.
Transformers movie of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it's the
cool.
gold standard for everything Transformers.
And
See, I
one of
watched.
the few movies to use CGI in the 80s, you know, crazy.
You
Just
can
to get-
watch the entirety of it free on YouTube.
Yeah.
If anyone's wanting to watch it, it's one of those available for free all the time.
It's because
Yeah,
I
I
remember
feel
going
like
to.
Gundams that are close to Transformers, but they're not Transformers.
I was going to say I remember going and watching the original animated movie in the theaters and my childhood ending and all that.
He killed it for you.
Yeah.
This is the death
Well,
of my childhood. I died with Optimus.
Actually, believe it or not, I was sad when Optimus died. I cried when Starscream crumbled. I was always a Starscream guy. Now, Joe says, who has some toys? I got some Transformer toys up there. I've got a few here. I'm going to show off one that I didn't show off before that I got from my brother. And then okay, Cliff
Oh my
says he's
God.
got all the toys.
Not,
my
who's
God.
got
Yeah, I was gonna say,
the
I'm pretty
non-vibrating toys? Non-vibrating
Yeah.
toys.
I also have non-vibrating toys.
Yeah, right. I
So-
called BS.
Dry non-vibrating toys.
What was that
So-
word?
Dry.
Dry,
I was-
I have dry non-vibrating toys.
I call BS still.
I was wa-
Yes.
I was watching.
Listen, Vox. You know, just because some of my toys, you know, are non-vibrating and they're dry, doesn't mean they're not still sexual. I mean, just look at this sexy beast. Doesn't he scream "kneel before me"?
No, that vibrates. I bet there's a vibrate
Yeah,
under it.
that's a custom piece right there.
Yeah, there's no. Okay, first of all, no, you do not turn this into a vibrator. That's disgusting. Like there's no.
What is
like,
that? Who is
It's
that?
That's
General
Zod.
Zod.
McFarlane figures General Zod. That thing's awesome.
Dude, that's sick. I'm excited. I was excited when what's his name? It was you, Mark, who
Uh-oh.
said that McFarlane's gonna be dropping Batman toys. I'm like, yes.
Oh, the Batman and Robin movie figures for Batman Forever specifically. That's the recent one.
wow.
Yeah.
I was watching that Mad Spidey stream last night with you, Cliff, man, and I was pissing my pants. That stream went so sideways so quick, and here we are again.
Listen, I needed to spice that up. Everybody was falling asleep, and
I'm afraid to ask, knowing what standard Cliff is.
it was a lot about penis size, shoulder
Prostate.
width, hips, ball shrinkage during erection.
And poor Rob's wife was on, and she was like listening to all this, man.
I really enjoyed it. She's so great. I love
Tony
her.
slamming a beer right now. He's like, God damn it.
No, it's
I'm
fixed.
just kidding.
I feel like Tony knows. I feel like Tony knows what's with it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That is awesome.
Where'd you get the diorama?
$9 on Amazon.
Just a generic set?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
It looks
Okay.
very danger roomy.
Cliff,
So
do you have anything Transformers related?
Yeah. Thank you,
I
Vaughn.
got
Thank
nothing.
you.
You want to talk about dry? My Transformers was dry. I love the movie Bumblebee, and that's probably the most I have to offer you.
All right, get him out of here.
All right.
Did you not enjoy Bumblebee?
I haven't
I
seen
did.
it yet.
I did. Mainly
How you
because it
doing,
was
Cliff?
produced by
Or
Michael Bay.
Kenneth? Mark, you got anything you want to show off, or
Hell yeah, I can talk Transformers. You know that. I'm an '80s baby, but my Transformer introduction was Beast Wars. I was aware of Transformers, seeing cartoons here and there. It was always on, but I grew up a superhero and a Power Ranger kid first and foremost, so that's where my attention was. But my Transformers love exploded with the Michael Bay movies. I was already a Michael Bay fan. I grew up a huge movie fan, thanks largely to my dad. So I was already into Michael Bay as a filmmaker by the time the first one of those came out, and I absolutely loved him. So much so that I got some cool shit. This is the ultimate
Is
collector's
that the
edition
cube?
for the first 3 films,
Oh.
which includes actual
wow.
real movie reels signed by Michael Bay on the inside. Folds out, it's beautiful. It's a Blu-ray DVD, and he has a 3D one for a couple of them. But beautiful, beautiful set. It's got
I thought that
Optimus and
was the
Megatron on the side.
cube
No, it's the
from the
triangle.
movie.
It's close. It's the triangle. But even let me get this off the wall. My only actual original art is from Transformers Alliance issue number 2. This is
that is badass.
page number 4, featuring
Right.
Optimus and Megatron on the page.
That's awesome.
Got the
I
comic to
come
go
to
with it
serve
as
you,
well.
Lord Megatron.
Yeah, this is super dope. It's Alex Moline art. And then for toys, I always have some right behind me.
Like I said, I collect Gundams, but I need to get
That is
Transformers.
cool.
The wrong stream for you then, Vogs.
Hey, they're close enough.
And then man, he
Hey,
was
James.
like, take 2 things I love a lot, Transformers and King Kong, you get Optimus Primal.
There you go. That's badass.
Yeah, these things are super dope. These are the YOLO part. Figures
Optimus
from Japan.
Primal. That's so cool.
Yeah, and since they released these, they did him, Prime, and Bumblebee, but now they have Cheetor, Rhinox, and Scourge from the movie out, because these are the movie figures. I got a thing about movie toys. I love movie toys, like whether it's
Movie
McFarlane's
toys are
or
cool toys.
Transformers. It's just
Are
a
you
way
getting
that
to get off Transformers, are you getting the Deadpool?
Good
toy?
question. As a way to keep things focused, because like toys are such a rabbit hole, I stick with movie figure toys for the stuff I'm into as good as I can. But I'm not picking up any Deadpool toys. Like I have Deadpool toys from when I was a kid still, and I'm perfectly fine with those.
Yeah.
I pretty
Yeah,
much just do
Optimus.
the DC McFarlane figures for the most part, for the like 95% of what I get.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I agree with the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, absolutely loved them. I like what they did with Bumblebee. Rise of the Beast was my jam. I'm excited for Chris Hemsworth
What was the
to come
second
into
one
the
that took
franchise.
place in Egypt? Was that Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah, Revenge of the Fallen was the second movie in the Michael Bay franchise. It was also a victim of the writer's strike. I don't know if you remember that, but like
Yeah.
the first big writer's strike happened, and it affected a lot of TV shows and movies. And Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen was one of those unfortunate victims of the writer's strike. And I still have rewatched that movie more times than I can count. But because the timing of Rise of the Beast, it got me hyped up for Transformers again. You know, like every time something new happens, you get excited and you want to bring out all your old toys and play with them and share in the fandom with other people that are excited. I decided, like, I love these movies so much. And Tony and Cliff, like, that's when us here in the community, we started talking about it a lot. I'm like, I'm going to dive into the original comic series. So I decided to collect volume 1 of the comic series. So I've got, I mean, you could see it, so it's right there. The Transformers 1 up there. I got 3 copies of it now. I got 1 slabbed, but I got 1 as a reader. Then I got a second one in a lot of books. But I've collected the entire volume 1. I've read halfway through it now. I've been slowly just chipping away at it, and I only need like the last 2 issues, which I'm just going to get at Heroes Con because I don't when I'm doing like run chasing, I'd rather find them in the wild. It's just more fun. Yeah. So I've almost finished reading that. And I got lucky because Daniel Warren Johnson has been like one of my top modern creators since Murder Falcon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And every year I go to Heroes, I always go meet him and do this, do that, whatever. So the week before Heroes Con last year, is when they dropped the big news with Void Rivals and everything. I'm like, oh shit. Oh no, Daniel Warren Johnson, he's going to get unobtainable. Everyone's going to know who he is now. He adjusted do a power bomb and he made a splash that like and jumped on everyone's radar at that point. He was a known creator, little things here and there, you know, that people would jump on, but the dude became a household name overnight with do a power bomb wrapping up in the announcement of the Energon universe. So I got this poster from my LCS of the promo for Energon universe.
Wow.
Featuring the first appearance of Jetfire,
obviously.
And I got Daniel Warren Johnson to sign it for me.
That's so
I'll always have that.
When does that new Transformers movie come out?
Oh, who knows, man. That's slotted for next summer. So, like I said, I always go meet up with Daniel Warren Johnson. And because I figure like this guy's gonna get unobtainable, I decided to do like the little limited, like every day of the con, he'll open up a very limited number of slots. You have to race to get a ticket for it. Then you come back later in the day at the designated time, and it'll draw a piece for you. And so 10 people a day, 3 days, 30 people got a custom piece done. I fought my way over there, got a ticket and everything. And I'm like, dude, everyone's getting Transformers. I wanted Transformers too, but I don't want the same shit everyone else is doing. Everyone's getting Optimus or Megatron, you know. And I'm like, I got the best idea in the world. And I told Daniel Warren Johnson what I wanted done. He said he's never drawn that character a day in his life. So me and DJ sat there and we're on our phone pulling up references for him. And we let him use our phone for references. And I got him to draw the first time he ever drew Optimus Primal.
Oh, cool.
That's so cool. I love when artists or people are like, oh, I've never done that, because going off something like that, I went to a minor league baseball game and I wanted this guy before he pitched, and he used to pitch in the majors, and I said, can I get your autograph? He's like, after the game. So everyone's huddling him up after the game, and he points me out and he said, I promised that guy first more than any of you. I'm signing his stuff first.
That's super cool.
That is very cool.
But yeah, that's just some stuff that's handy.
No, that's sick, Mark.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I've showed these before. I started collecting these little statues from Amazon.
Yep.
And I've got Starscream, and I've got, of course, you can see Megatron. Megatron was the first one. This was a birthday present last year from my dad.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what started the whole obsession. And then
Optimus.
And these are all pretty cool. They look like the cartoon, G1 cartoon.
Yeah, they do. What's that robot chicken parody? They didn't do. They did Transformers.
Oh,
they did
GoBots.
That was fun.
They did
everything.
Transformer parodies all the way from Optimus having cancer to prostate cancer to.
Yeah, dude. Remember, he's like, ready? I've got to go to the bathroom.
Well, Rob gave the cure to that last night on Spidey's stream.
Oh hell.
Yep.
What's the magic number, Cliff? Was it you say 21?
21 times a month is a great way to avoid prostate cancer.
25% according to the study he read.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is true because it's a great way to work your prostate and reduce the risk.
Yep.
I'm gonna show y'all this one. This one is a coronation. Yeah, I'm throwing out toys.
We're sorry. You brought it up.
Yeah, I know. This is a
Awesome.
gift from DVH for my birthday last year. It was a
That's
coronation
amazing.
Starscream. I love how he tricked me because I was trying to decide whether or not to get. At the time, I was trying to get the Starscream statue or the coronation Starscream figure, and he was like, "Oh man, you need to get the statue because the figure's terrible." And I went, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." And one of my brother was going to buy the same figure, and I told him, "But don't buy it because DVH said it's horrible." And it was all a ruse, so that way he could send it to me. And I had to go
That's
back and tell my brother,
hilarious.
"Hey, it was a trick." And then I got this. I got this one.
That's cool.
Almost
then-
like Shockwave.
Yeah, I want it, man. I don't know if it's came out yet or if it's going to come out, but they're doing a Shockwave figure based on the Transformers comic cover.
Oh, it's
That
out
was-
already, Mark?
I got an unopened one there, so I hadn't got him displayed. That's my favorite Transformer villain, Shockwave.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to put this on the screen. This was from my brother for my birthday last year, and this is a Comic-Con 2011 exclusive of
Wow.
Optimus Prime, and this is from what is it, Revenge of the Fallen?
No, sir. Yeah. It's the old
Yeah,
truck.
it is.
And this whole thing, I forgot what they called it, but the trailer and everything, you can put the trailer on him and everything. I forgot what
I
Prime
bet
they
that's
called
expensive
this,
as shit.
Dude, that's
he
crazy.
said he got it for pretty cheap off of eBay, but
You know what's funny is working at Lowe's, we have
Or should-
like trailer trucks that look like that, and we sell like die casts of that. And my boss is like, "Oh, we're gonna sell a few of these. I bet they're $30." My coworker
Tony,
and I were like, "We haven't sold one.
Yeah.
If they go down
Before
to
you blow
$5
your
bucks,
load, can I show you two books that I had up here that I
Yeah.
forgot about?
go ahead.
Yeah, I had fuck was it? I had Austin LeMay do this cover for me for Void Rivals #1, and I wanted my favorite Transformer villain on it. Again, I love Optimus and the main ones a lot, but I just like having different stuff too. So he did like his own take on Transformers 5.
That's bad.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Let's go hide on it. See that
Who,
helps.
who did that? Who,
The homie Austin LeMay,
really?
phenomenal artist.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
But what's cool is like he did it. He hadn't really done Transformers before, so he did a test run on a piece of paper before he took to drawing this one, and he shared that test run up on Instagram, and he said he's going to donate it to Comics Curing Cancer, and he did.
And you
And
landed.
I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to get that. So didn't matter what anybody was willing to bid on it. I was going to be willing to bid more. Like I reserved my whole wallet for it, I ended up getting it, and I slabbed it myself. I love doing this with these comic skins,
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
just
so
cool.
absolutely gorgeous work.
Oh man, that
But
is
it's cool
badass.
to get your own little custom label on there with Optimus, and it says art, and it's got his little artist signature that I put on there, and they're just fun. These comic skins,
Yeah,
and they
Never really
display
thought of
really
that.
well. Like back here, it looks just like any other slab in the world.
Mhm.
yeah.
Serves the same purpose for
So you don't have to send them all to CGC. You can do it yourself.
No, I got a lot. I think I have like 9 books in those. I've had a lot of fun with them.
Well, the last thing I'm going to show off as far as Transformers goes is I picked about 10 or 11, 1, 2, 3, 10 books, and I tried to keep it low. But these are just some of my favorite stories, and actually I'm going to say 11 because since he brought it up, we'll bring up this one.
There it is.
Yeah.
This is my
such an
favorite
iconic cover.
Transformers cover of all time. I paid $30 for this slab.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was pretty cool. So now these are representing stories that I personally loved. And like I said, this one is one of them because this is issue 5. This is after the 4-issue limited series where Shockwave basically, after the Autobot, the Decepticons got poisoned by Sparkplug's fuel. We got Shockwave coming and blasting all the surviving Autobots, and he pretty much takes over the Ark. How you doing, Durs?
Yeah, what a surprise ending that all the good guys just
Screen's
get
black,
dusted.
Yeah. He's got Prime's head on a mantle trying to get the creation matrix. It's all pretty cool. And some of these other issues are going to tie into this whole storyline that ended up going to issue 12.
You got Dinobots coming then.
I showed
your
one.
screen's still black, buddy. Sorry to interrupt, Tony.
I showed one enough, so I wanted to give love to issue 2. This 4-issue limited series is badass. It always will be. Special shout out to another. This would almost be my second favorite cover, and that's issue 6.
Bro, Shockwave drug him in that issue.
Oh yeah, he
wasn't even close.
No, he beat the hell out of him. And I didn't pull out issue 7 so I could do the plug once again for the. But issue 7, Ratchet is the last surviving Autobot. He fights Megatron, makes the deal. They ends up going to the Savage Land that introduces the Dinobots. But during that, we see Ratchet discovering humans cooking hot dogs. So that's for you, comics, by the way. Issue 12, Optimus Prime Autobot Killer. Basically, it's Prime's body with a false head that Shockwave engineered. And this was the culmination of the very first story arc, started with issue 5.
And you know what's cool about that cover with what's going on right now is you got Prime with the big cannon on his arm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is true. Now, a lot of people might not care for this story. I personally like it. And this is issue 16, Bumblebee's Last Stand, where he's about to quit. He was going to leave the team because he didn't think he was important. And then the Decepticons go after him, and he finds out that he actually is worth something to the team. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
And I could say that the death of Optimus Prime in issue 24 it's okay, but the death of Megatron, however, was better. Fighting the Predacons are masquerading.
Optimus was where he volunteered to die, wasn't it? After the AI game, the AI battle.
Yeah. And then Megatron's haunted because he is so sure that Prime is still alive, so he goes mad. Shockwave uses this opportunity to become the leader again. He sends the Predacons posing as Autobots to kill Megatron. And, of course, Megatron finds out everything, confronts Shockwave, goes nuts, and blows up the space bridge. And you think he's dead, but it's comics, so nobody really dies. He came back around issue 57. Now, a lot of people didn't care
Spoiler, bro. Spoiler.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've never read.
I ain't made it to 57. I'm
still collecting the original run before I read it.
Well, I guess I better watch the spoilers, huh?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
it's only
same,
40
same.
years old now.
Durs, you have a fresh haircut?
Yeah, I got that like a week ago. I went to the first new barber in 34. I've been going to the same barber since I was 19. And I let somebody else.
All right, your original barber.
It is, man. Because one of my buddies from high school, he opened his own barber shop, and I was like, you know what, I'll let him, fade me up. And I got a fade and everything. I got a little bit something.
Dude, I love getting.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Durs has zero loyalty. All right, that's that, Tony.
I always down to try new things.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I derailed us.
Yeah. I was going to show the next one in the series, but I feel like I need to show this one first. This is number 1 in a 4-issue limited series for Headmasters.
Here we go. I haven't dove into that yet.
Well, this is a pretty awesome series. No spoilers, except for one. And at the end of this series, they end up going to Earth, and that's where this story comes in, issue 38.
Isn't that where we get Evil Optimus from?
Evil Optimus?
Yeah, because it's Optimus' body in someone else's head.
No, that was 12. That was the other one I showed.
That was before this even started. All right.
Yeah. But this is the first Headmasters on Earth. They go to where the Ark was buried, but Grimlock and them had somehow fixed the whole ship, and it was gone. And anyway, they responded to a message from GoBug, which was pretty cool. And this started a whole new story arc that culminated in, this is probably my favorite story of all time because it's got my boy in it. And that's issue 50.
Starscream.
And if you watched the animated movie of the Transformers in '86. Well, this is the comic book version of that.
There's
Now
an
I'm going to.
actual 2-issue movie adaptation in comics as well. Do you have those?
I have the 3-issue Marvel run, but I don't have the one that I believe it was Dreamwave or IDW went back and did another one,
Oh,
and I don't
okay.
have that one. I'm going to skip all the way to issue 78 because, okay, don't get me wrong. I personally believe the best issues are before issue 50. Not saying that there's they're all bad after issue 50, because there are some gems in those books and those stories after 50, but there are some that'll make you scratch your head. But I love this one, and it's Galvatron versus Megatron.
Yeah.
Nice.
And coincidentally, this was the last comic that I had to buy, and it ended my 20-year search of every Marvel Transformers comic.
Wow.
So,
How many are in the run, Tony? So I know.
80 issues in the main run, and then
Main
there's
run. What, 4 Headmasters?
three or four. There's
Yeah.
Headmasters, GI Joe, Universe, and movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that's
four,
not
3.
but
Okay.
that's not counting the 4 issues. If you count it, there's 4 issues of GI Joe that launched in Generation 2.
So I got like 30 something, like 32 of them or something.
And then the last one, of course, is, this is where the Energon universe, you could say, started, if you want to say
Nice.
that. But
Bro,
this
that
is
made the
first-
G.I. Joe to look like idiots in that book, man. When
Yeah,
I read
yeah,
that, I
it
was
did.
shocked.
Yeah, it did. And I don't know if they ever had any recollections in the G.I. Joe series, but they make a few in the Transformers series. They make a few little nods to, like, the Decepticons knowing about or being partnered with Cobra. Matter of fact, I believe that issue 26, 25, where Megatron is fixing to die, they're moving their Decepticon base, and they said, notify Cobra that we're moving our base closer to theirs. So, I mean,
Didn't Cobra Commander actually appear on an episode of Transformers?
yes and no.
Or they just never call him Cobra Commander?
They did not call him Cobra Commander. There was a guy with Cobra Commander's face,
And
but
voice.
as he's leaving, as the show ends, he's walking down the street, and you kind of hear him yell out Cobra and then just cough.
His name was Rattlesnake Sergeant.
I couldn't remember his name.
That wasn't his name. I made that.
Dude, I went back and watched a lot of, because I've never watched any of the OG cartoons. I went back and watched almost the entirety of the first season, I'm pretty sure. It's super cheesy and corny, but it's good.
If I'm not mistaken, that episode we're talking about is in season 3. It's toward the end of season 3.
Okay, I think I'm right towards the end of season
Right?
1.
Do what now?
I think the episode is called Only Human.
Maybe.
That's
I'd
a
have to
Christina
look it up.
Perry song. Shout out
But
to
you
my
can
lady.
also watch the original G.I. Joe and Transformers cartoons on Tubi.
I'm watching it all on YouTube. It's got a whole playlist.
Hey, that works.
I got a soft spot in my heart for
So,
Christina Perry.
Durs, you want to talk about Transformers, or?
Oh yeah, sure, man, for sure. It's weird how one man, one artist, one creator can revitalize your entire fandom for anything. Because the only thing I've ever
Right.
watched in Transformers was Michael Bay. That
Let's
was it.
go. Let's
That was
go.
it.
Yes, us three.
And that's
Let's
like
go.
and because dude, I'm younger, I didn't watch any, I didn't read any of that old stuff. But Michael Bay Transformers for me are just still peak, absolute peak. I love them to death.
Cliff is dying on the inside and out.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
us
I'm
three,
sorry.
Michael Bay,
And that goes across the board with like anything Michael Bay. I love.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hey, Cliff, no sacrifice, no victory.
It's the same way with God, dude. What's his face? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Old boy, slow motion.
Yeah, Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder. Same thing across the board. Like whatever they do, I'm gonna at least watch. But Daniel Warren Johnson and bringing Void Rivals and bringing Transformers and doing what they did with everything is just insane to me. Because same thing with like Ghost Machine and like Spawn. Anything Energon Universe is just top tier for me. Like peak. Like this is the one that started it for me. I got the sketch cover just to grab it real quick for
That's
you.
gorgeous.
Sean Fournier art. But the Void, I don't even have it over there. But Void Rivals, that's what I was reading, and I knew it was going to cross over to Transformers. So I didn't expect it to do what it did. But now that Transformers itself is a book, I'm reading Cobra. I read Duke. I'm reading all the tie-ins. I'm picking up Scarlet. I'm picking up Destro. Now to the point where I'm reading the actual G.I. Joe just main book, and it has nothing to do with the Energon universe. And it's good. It's solid.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty and what I love most about comics or this hobby is there's things that I have missed so much in my time of not reading that now I can experience again for the first time and just go full head. So, dude, Transformers is top. Each issue is almost a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 for me right now. So, and I'm collecting all the old stuff too. Got a whole short box full.
I'm gonna point out something Fanboy says. He says, I didn't have many of the original Transformers comics, but I do own 12 of the 13 Generation 2 issues. 1 through 12 just missing the Halloween special. I completely forgotten there's a Halloween special. There we go. Hey, man. Well, I can't get mine out.
I was gonna say you have one too, don't you? I got that for Ali's.
They had a Halloween special. That's
$12.99, man.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the Generation 2 Halloween special that came out by Marvel, and it is very hard to find, and it's very expensive. So,
there you go. That's what I was reaching for. That's what started it all for me. I mean, that was the ash can, but seeing that and seeing what Danny Warren Johnson was going to bring on, like I said, Transformers is just top tier for me right now.
Yeah, I grew. Like I said, I grew up watching the old cartoon. I love the stories for Beast Wars, but the CGI really, the computer.
I was gonna say, I guess I definitely left that out because I watched every episode of Beast Wars and loved every second of it. But that was the time of like Toonami and cartoons going to that terrible CGI.
Was it on Toonami Cartoon Network?
No, it predates.
No.
It predates Toonami for one, and for two, it wasn't bad CGI when it came out. That was the allure of it when it came out. It was that
whole era of that kind of style, which I still think I love. I still think it's very unique.
You can watch all of Beast Wars for free on YouTube. They have a live Transformers Beast Wars channel. It stays live 24/7. And it streams from episode 1 to the finale on repeat at all times.
You know what's really cool is I was watching like YouTube videos of the old like Toonami intro where it's the space dude where he's like, "You're watching Toonami."
I was there when it was created, and I was there the day it went on.
Tony, maybe you can add some context to this because this is a raging debate that I get different answers from different people, but what planet does Beast Wars take place on?
I was always under the impression, and that's just it. I'm just under the impression that it's Earth, but it's after the time of the Autobots.
See, this is the crazy part because, there's multiple cosmic objects orbiting the planet they're on.
Really?
Right, so far in the future.
Wasn't it like real wastelandy looking? I do remember.
It looks like prehistoric days almost. Like there's nothing there but land and vegetation. But there's multiple moons or something in the sky. But it's the story dictates that it should be them just waking up like Cliff just said, way in the future. But the cosmic tapestry has changed, and that causes some conversation on it.
Well, one of the reasons why I thought about that is because wasn't there, I don't remember much about the Beast Wars shows, but wasn't there like an episode where Waspinator got possessed by Starscream's ghost or something?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, man.
I
remember that show. I remember that show being super, super like off the rails with a lot of things. But that was my first time even seeing or hearing Transformers in my life was that original cartoon, was that Beast Wars.
Yeah. And I tried to watch some of the later ones, like I tried to watch the Robots in Disguise, and I did watch Armada a little bit.
There we go. We got Fanboy dropping the details right there.
There we
Prehistoric Earth after Transformers crash landed, one moon is destroyed. By the end of the series, Earth is Earth we know. Okay, there we go.
I still love the Robot Chicken parodies.
We're talking about animation. That's a good segue. What do you guys feel about the new one? Like the new one coming out?
Super excited. Super duper excited.
I'm super excited for the kids. I'm a big excited for the younger generation because it's just another way to bring younger audience and younger readers.
That's such a generous thing for you to say, Jersey.
I'm just not. It's not for me.
It's not for me.
That's all. I know.
I'm excited to take the kids. I'll be watching that one, knowing
that.
It's unfortunate for those people that don't have kids or wanted a strictly adult-oriented one. in the sense that they took into consideration the what is it called, the Alliance timeline,
Mhm.
and they're trying to hardline a back. They're trying to respectfully use the continuity of an origin story that they're putting here that would be built off of like in the stuff that you see in the current like Rise of the Beast, Bumblebee, and even the next one. This shouldn't it shouldn't it
Mess
should
with
mesh
that.
well with this
Oh,
origin
should we
story. It
mess with
should be
that?
in
Okay, okay.
yeah, it shouldn't like
Back
push
to
back against it.
back to Beast Wars. This is very frustrating. I found one entry that says Beast Wars takes place 3,000 years ago in what one day would become Mexico. I found two entries that say one says this series is set in the future of the original Transformers franchise 300 years later. Another entry that says Beast machines exist in the future of Generation 1 universe. So
That's what I'm telling y'all. It's highly debatable. I want to.
yeah, but there is an episode that they're clearly being spoken to from the past. That's like really makes me nuts. I'm like, there's an episode that justifies that they're in the future.
Was there any? I don't remember. Was there any like time travel jumps in the series at all?
No,
That
just
would-
that
that
they
would explain it.
they did have a device that was letting them talk to someone in the past. I'm trying to remember who. I'm expecting Tony to know this.
No, this is I no. I don't.
I'm expecting Fanboy Prime to get triggered enough to hit the button and jump on stream.
I wish he would get that trigger. He's too,
Yeah.
I think he's too smooth for that. You know, he's just very nonchalant. He makes cover challenges with Neil. Neil spends all week getting ready for them. Fanboy throws them together 60 seconds before he hits live. I mean, you know,
Sounds
Fanboy
like
knows
what
where
I do
it's
on
at.
my stream, man.
You know, but I'm positive that boy is in the 7 and better club, so that's okay. Shout out to Fanboy.
I plan on taking my nephew. He's about 10 or 11, and he loves Transformers. So I'm gonna take him to go see this animated one, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try not to let my G1 mind keep me from enjoying it.
It was before G1, so you should have a blast. What's going to happen is you're going to get there and you're going to see this shit on the big screen, and everything else is going to fade away instantly.
Good.
Instantly. It's
Yeah,
going to be
Because
great.
I
Yeah,
think it
when I
looks
see-
cool. I think it looks like a fun
Yeah.
movie.
Is
I
it
think it's
still
gonna be,
does.
Peter Cullen?
That's what I was about
No,
to say.
this
Two
is-
things for
Wait,
me.
hold on,
it's
Rich.
a-
Rich, what were you saying?
I said I think it looks good. I think it looks like a fun movie. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna have a fun story to it. You know, we don't always need that. You know, that Michael Bay action, crazy fight scenes. Sometimes we need a
I
story.
was gonna-
I'm not saying
You
I
could
don't
always
like
use
it.
a
I'm
little
just saying
bit
you
of
don't always need it.
Right.
I
My
agree.
thing is you
There's
don't
some big,
have
big keys about this too, because like they said, they're with Transformers. I learned that they have such a large mythos of 40 years of so many different people picking up the property and playing with the property, so many different shows and series made for different audiences and stuff, that it creates things like Cliff is experiencing trying to get a definitive answer for something. There's not a definitive answer. There's been different ways stuff's been done and approached. And what they've done is they've created what they call the Alliance timeline, which is like their Earth Zero timeline. It's been meshed together and built together. This is what they're considering their hard canon. And stuff can, like, the Energon universe obviously isn't a part of that, but this is supposed to be like their origin to that. Like they're showing it, and they're doing cool little things like Megatron's name in this D16. That's just the serial number that was on the original Gen 1 toy in Japan. For if
I
you
didn't know
bought the
that.
Megatron Gen 1 toy, the box, the little serial number had D16 on it. So that's a nod to that even. So they're doing a lot of really cool stuff that shows that they have a lot of
So
love.
it's origin stories. That's cool.
Yeah, Transformers 1 is Optimus Prime's not even Prime. He's Orion Pax before he was ever a Prime. Megatron's not Megatron. You're gonna there's some heavy tones in it too. You see them saying the jokes, but then you see Megatron sitting there in the forest or something with that limited light shining on that dead body that has the Decepticon symbol on it, and you see him just them gears churning. You know,
Do you think
I
we
think it's
see
gonna hit.
Optimus Prime or whatever he was turned into Optimus Prime?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see him turn into Prime by the end of it or not, but we see the quintessent come and bestow on them like the ability to transform and stuff. But I think it's going to be awesome.
My
Yeah,
two
it looks
biggest
really
issues with it is going to be not having Peter Cullen. I'm fine with not having Peter Cullen, but if you're not going to have Peter Cullen, don't do like a super kid style thing for the first time for him not being there.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do a super kid style and still keep Peter Cullen. Give us one or the other. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm not going to go to the movies or anything like that and go on my way to watch it.
That's cool.
I don't know how you do Peter Cullen when he's a younger version, though. You know, because that's a deep voice. You know, he's supposed to be like a teenager. So
that's what I'm saying. Give us one of the two. If you were gonna still use Peter Cullen, still give us that animation, but maybe not make it as kid tone as that one is. You know, a younger audience tone, just fine. Because like I said, it's a great time for, you know, if somebody's 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. They can go in and watch this movie, maybe not knowing anything about the Transformers fandom. Watch the movie and then go right to their comic shop and see brand new Transformers books on the rack. So it's a good correlation.
And just be completely blown away.
yeah, and be like, oh, this is fun, lighthearted, and we go in here and like, oh my god, now Optimus is dying and these kids are getting crushed and this girl's dad is dead.
See, when I say I try not to let my G1 mind go through, because there is an episode, I believe in season 2, where it's talked about Megatron, and they basically build him on an operating table, and there's Megatron, and I was like, well, he didn't have a former body, did he? But that's the old cartoon from the 80s. I mean, to be fair, I mean, the old G1 cartoon and some of the Marvel run really didn't do a lot to establish characters' backstories. So, I mean, this is fresh take, and yeah, it should be interesting.
Did y'all touch on what I feel is probably like the most exciting potential for Transformers 1? Because you asked about Peter Cullen. He's not in it. This is going to be the first film with no Peter Cullen. We have Hemsworth doing the voice of Orion Pax.
Which sounds fine, I think. He sounds good.
He sounds amazing. Because you don't need to sound like Optimus Prime, because this isn't Optimus Prime yet. So I think that's a great entry level for the next person to come in kind of thing. You know, like it makes perfect sense. And then the coolest part is for the Transformers G.I. Joe film releasing next summer, they're tapping Hemsworth right now. As of this week, they're currently tapping Chris Hemsworth, and this was going to be a big talking thing tonight on my show because, you know, I'm a nut job for Transformers movies. Are they tapping him for Optimus? Are they tapping him for a Joe? Are they going to do both? Like, there's so much potential.
It couldn't be both. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
because,
I want to see Tyler Rake enter the Transformers franchise. I don't know if y'all have seen the Extraction movies, but Chris Hemsworth could be the best G.I. Joe you've ever seen on screen. Doesn't matter what you name him. Like
right.
Extraction was awesome. All three.
Yes, that's in my opinion. That's Chris Hemsworth's best film by 10 miles. That first one, especially.
Right.
I want to take a second and give a shout out to my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Lois.
And y'all, that's all I have for Transformers. What were some of y'all's? Well, I was gonna say what's your favorite episodes, but that's like not that easy.
What's your favorite live action film? Let's go around the horn. I want to start with Cliff, and you can't say Bumblebee. What's your second favorite?
My second favorite?
Yeah, we know Bumblebee's your first, so it's not a fair question to ask you your first again. What's your second favorite?
Wasp. That's his second favorite B. No, I'm kidding.
Wasp is actually the agency in Transformers #3, Dark of the Moon.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is a good one. Go ahead, Cliff. Sorry.
We'll come back to you, Cliff. Rich, what's your favorite one?
I'm gonna pick the first one.
Me too. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the first one. You know, the characters, Megan Fox, Shia LaBeouf, the introduction. I didn't see the last one, so to be fair, but I would say the first one.
Go ahead, Cliff.
No, I mean I like the last one, but I'm gonna go with Bumblebee then the first Transformers film.
I can still remember, like, did any of y'all have like processing emotions? Like, I don't know another word to say, like issues, just with some of like seeing them transform, especially when you get toward the end when Megatron wakes up and the way he would just jump into the air and roll and then he'd just be moving forward. Like,
yeah, that was
I've never
weird.
Seen things move like that, you know, like
CGI and that sound effects and everything.
Like just the way that when Blackout stood up in the opening scene of that first movie, my mind's like, how are they doing this? Like, how do they make every little part map out? Like, I know it's computer, but it still was such an impressive feat. Like it's to this day, it holds up. It just twists my mind.
Yeah.
They were hungry back then.
Well, Durs, Vogs, what are y'all answers?
Well, of course
Go
the
ahead,
first
Boggs.
one's great, but I like Revenge of the Fallen a lot.
Jetfire was in that one. Hell yeah.
Is it? That's the one where they're trying to get the cube, right?
They're trying to
That's
get the
fair.
matrix of leadership. They're getting
Yeah.
the cube in the first one. Optimus dies in Revenge of the Fallen. They go wake up Jetfire out of the Smithsonian, go to
What-
Egypt, and they break
Yeah.
into the temple in Jordan and find the
Yeah.
ancient primes that hid the matrix of leadership.
Mark, is that the one where I haven't seen it in years? The one where it's at the end, Megatron saying, "I'm sending a message to all surviving Autobots."
That's the end of the first one. And the end, yeah, that's the end of the first one. He calls
Where
them
he's
to
staring
Earth.
into the sunset.
Yeah, that's the end of all of them except for
Pretty
except
much,
for
yeah.
the next you're gonna say was Linkin Park playing. Yes, the
I
answer
was
is
gonna
yes.
say yes.
Dude, New Divide
Yes.
was such a good
Yeah,
song
so
for
here you
that
go.
movie.
Revenge of the Fallen is the one where Optimus takes on Jetfire's parts and beats the dog shit out of the Fallen and says, "Give me your face," and peels it off. Like it was
And then
nuts.
New Divide was such a good song for that movie.
Yeah. Linkin Park slaps. Durs, what's yours,
Dude,
man?
rest in peace, Chester Bennington.
So Transformers 1, of course, holds a special memory, but it's one of the movies in the franchise I don't watch ever because Shia LaBeouf to me is erased off the map because of Marky Mark. I am a monster Mark Wahlberg fan, so like Shia LaBeouf, Marky Mark's my guy. So like I don't even mess with the first one. It's like fourth or third on my list. Revenge of the Fallen's my favorite because of the darker tones, more of the action, more of the stakes at it. But a tie for second, man. Age of Extinction, when they show the Dinobots, nothing tops that. I love the Dinobots. And same thing with Beast Wars, man. I'm a Beast Wars guy. That was my first
I
Transformers
forget,
experience. So
Do we
I-
ever
I-
find out what happens to Sam?
He's moved on with his life. He grew up in
yeah,
a dome.
I think they talk about it. They mentioned him briefly in the second one or something at some
No,
point.
he's in the first three, and by the third one, part of the story of the third one is him having a hard time moving on with life, having saved the world twice. And for what was your number one favorite one, Durs?
My number one favorite is Revenge of the Fallen, just because of the darker tones. I can watch that one with him and everything. But like I said, Marky Mark just erased Shia.
You said he just
yeah,
moved on.
him playing Cade was awesome. All right. So first off, I think number 3, like it blew my mind with that. It was in-game level movie, like with a 47-minute long finale, an
Dude, that
entire
finale was
war in the
fire.
city. They killed Ironhide, brought in Sentinel with Leonard Nimoy playing him, like dropping the knowledge, like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Optimus with one arm taking out like Megatron and Sentinel to get like that was nuts. I'm like, how do you ever top this? And then by God, they did it. Age of Extinction is my number 1 favorite Transformers movie, hands down. I think it might be the longest one. They brought in Stanley Tucci in that one. They showed you like the prehistoric days where they're dropping the quintessent or dropping the bombs. They introduced the idea of the quintessent to us with just their ships and stuff. But when they brought in the legendaries, as they called them in that, the Dinobots, like you had your second alumni in this one. You know, you had Hound in there and played by John Goodman, like in that final stand with him and the humans, just in that glass fortress that they were in, and Stanley Tucci just hysterical. Like, this is where we hide in a giant fucking glass case. Like, and Hound's out there just shooting everything he has. And some of the shots, like him with the cigar in his mouth, with the beard shaking, just firing, just last man standing, taking shots. Like you literally felt like they're about to die. Like, this is it. This because at this point in the franchise, we knew these people don't live forever. Like, we've seen them kill off A-listers, but then Prime rolls in on the back of fucking Grimlock. I'm like, oh my God.
He tames Grimlock and
firing everyone up. But dude, that was legendary. Like when he had to tame Grimlock, he's like, fight with me or die. You know, when he and everyone else and like Stinger and like, yeah, we're not getting in the middle of this shit. But that was amazing. But besides that being my favorite, my brain hasn't stalled out on me like it did the first time I saw this until Rise of the Beast. At the end of Rise of the Beast, when Noah and Primal came back for Prime, to help pull him back away from the gravity pool when they were blowing up the big thing. That transformation scene right there, when Prime just gets his traction, grabs Noah, and he does that like wide angle spin, and the camera panned out, and it just spun around, and Prime was just all of a sudden in a truck, and Noah was on the back with the jets firing, and they're just, I'm like, the fuck did this happen? What did I just see? Like, I immediately, like, I have to buy this right now so I can rewind it in slow motion. That there's just, like, we got that momentum again in the franchise, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
All right.
Beast Wars.
I've got something to tell you guys backstage.
Here we go. What's yours, Tony?
Well, you pretty much explained mine. I was going to go with 3, but hell, you did such a good job with Age of Extinction. I'm starting to wonder. I'm going to say I'm still going to stick with Dark of the Moon. I loved it, and like I said, like he said, we had Leonard Nimoy playing Sentinel Prime, which was amazing. You know, like he said, Prime wasting Leonard and Sentinel Prime and Megatron. The whole thing where you see all the Autobots supposedly get put into the starship and leave and blow up. That was actually a callback to a G1 episode called Megatron's Master Plan. But except they weren't in the bottom. They actually did leave, and then they came back. But, yeah, I love that one, and Ages of Extinction would be number 2 for me. And, of course, I like the first one as well, but I always thought about, like, if my wife would let me have a nice little picture right here of Megan Fox over the car hood.
Leaning into the car hood.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to let me have that.
Tony, Transformers, Dark of the Moon, and Age of Extinction, though 15 years old now, were billion-dollar films before ticket prices were as high as they are now.
Who's the man lead in Age of Extinction?
Mark Wahlberg.
But I want to say something, and y'all can boo me if you want to.
Boo.
But the last night was my least favorite.
Oh, horrible
shit, bro.
Oh yeah, same. That's my least favorite as well.
Sir Anthony Hopkins gets brought in there, Cogman's in there. Like, bro,
Well,
Feels
that's
real
all-
boring compared to the other ones.
Well, no, that was all great, but what killed it for me was not knowing the lore of the animated series after G1, thinking, wait a minute, why is Unicron Earth? And finding out way later on in some other versions, Unicron was Earth.
Yeah, I had no idea what happened.
How about this one? That's when they gave us Hot Rod, and I stopped at the time. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that shit. I stopped at the time. Look at Cliff. He's so mad.
But here's the thing. The last night, like I said, was my least favorite. Bumblebee made me start feeling a little bit better, and Rise of the Beast brought me back. I was like, effing A.
We got Nemesis Prime in right at the last night, though. Yo, that fight with him and Bumblebee, like, all right. When I first got my 4K television and 4K player setup, right, I got it. Finn was, I think, 3, maybe 2. I bought the TV, I bought the 4K player, and I bought Transformer the last night as my first 4K physical purchase. I come home, set it up, put it in. I jumped straight to the Optimus Prime Bumblebee fight because I just wanted to see the graphics. And going from 1080 to 4K is fucking insane. And I think to this day, that might be why Finn is such a Transformers head, because he watched that and he froze. Like, he's running around playing in the living room. He froze and stood there silently watching that. It completely transported him. And it just changed our lives for the better, because that kid is now, like, Godzilla's number 1 in his life and Transformers are number 2. But dude, it's so beautiful. That is such a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's all.
Did from the second one on, IMAX wise, all the IMAX shots are incredible.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about Devastator's nutsack.
No, that legitimately.
He's a drinker. I'm not interested.
In all sincerity, when they did that with Devastator, like the trailer for that movie, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Watching him fire up and start drawing in the sand. But then when I saw the movie, I'm like, man, this is bad. Like, I was actually upset when I first left Revenge of the Fallen. It was one that, like, as time went on, I liked it more and more because I got more used to the idea of, like, the tone of the movie. They also gave us, like, it went too far too fast, like with Shia on the campus with the literal Transformer that turned into a human being.
The Pretender.
Mm-hmm.
What was
She
the
tastes
little
like
robot
oil.
that was annoying? That
Well, actually, believe it or not, there's Pretenders are a thing in the Marvel run, but just not like that.
Mhm.
Are
What's
they?
going on, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe said he actually makes the IMAX projectors. That's really cool.
That's dope.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
But yeah, I think that also like man, I watched Batman Begins with Finn and Monkey the other day, and one thing I realized is as time goes, movies that were good in the past only get better because they make so many bad movies now. Like we really are settling these days. Like we are extreme when we say, "Oh, it was pretty good." Nope, it was legit bad, and I'm guilty of calling trash ass movies pretty good myself. Like they're bad.
I know you're trying to get out of here, Tony, but I got to talk about it. Me and Lady Durs, we're watching the X-Men franchise movies in chronological order, and we just got through the third. She's never seen any of them, and she's into it. She's into it almost more than I am. She's like asking questions and wanting to know about these characters and like why are these happening. And sometimes I'm like, man, I'm not the best X-Men guy, but I can explain the movie lore. I can explain that kind of stuff.
The fun thing is,
I could talk about those all day, man.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they're dope. They're dope.
Yeah.
They're dope. They're dope.
First
Tony,
class.
I feel like
Tony, that's a
I
thought,
feel like I
Tony.
walked
He can.
into a den of just like some of the worst films of my lifetime. And like,
Rich just pointed something out. He said he can talk about that all day, talk about the X-Men movies, and we're coming to the end of the 20th century X-Men films with Deadpool, Wolverine. That's not a bad. That's not a bad Sunday topic for you, Tony. We're doing Transformers tonight.
Well, I've already got a topic for next week, but yeah, I will. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we only have till the middle of July to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's why we're watching them, so
First
she can have
Class
relevance for all those characters going into Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nice.
So
X-Men First Class still has one of my favorite lines.
You know why that's the best one, Boggs? Do you know why? Because Matthew fucking Vaughn made it.
Facts. Fire. That's what we started with.
First Class. My favorite part was when they go back in time and see Wolverine. They're like, Charles Xavier, Bubba. Oh God,
Go fuck
Magneto's
yourself.
real name.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They
Go
got
after
an
yourself.
F-bomb and it went right to Wolverine.
Yeah.
Go after yourself.
I still like Apocalypse was the best, I think.
Yes.
Apocalypse was
No, I
freaking
thought
awesome.
I'm always the guy that likes the oddballs. I'm the hot take. Like I like Attack of the Clones, favorite Star Wars movie. I thought Apocalypse was so fucking good.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Not just saying Isaac's as Apocalypse, but the movie.
Yeah, even the
Oh,
Quicksilver scene with the mansion exploding.
Oh
I mean, it
my
was
God.
pretty awesome.
They
can't
popped
wait for that.
Time in a Bottle. You know, we did Time in a Bottle previously in Days of Future Past. How are you going to top that? They did. They topped it.
Fire.
I agree.
Wasn't it Sweet Dreams?
I believe so.
Yeah.
With the exception, with mainly the exception of that scene and visual looks in the film that I approve of, it's mostly trash, and I've never until today been surrounded by people that actually like that film.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch.
So, whoa.
Nothing is as disgusting as
Dark
the
Phoenix.
film known as The Dark Phoenix.
Oh, I'm not looking
That was
forward
bad.
to that.
That was bad.
I'm not looking forward to
You know
it.
what happened with that film? Like, first off, we have to give a huge shout out to how excited everyone was to the idea of getting a Phoenix saga done right after the setup in Apocalypse when Jean was dealing with shit, and at the end when she just tapped in. She fucking tapped in and comes walking through the broken building and kept walking until there was nothing under her and kept fucking walking. Like, holy shit. But with Dark Phoenix, they made that movie independent of Marvel, and in classic MCU fashion, Marvel rushes to put shit out ahead of people, and they pushed Captain Marvel and wanted to make sure that they highlighted flying around in space battles in the trailer. They went out of their way to do that, so 20th Century Fox went back and reshot the finale and took out the space battle, which it would have been, and put it on that fucking train at the end.
It's bad. I forgot we
And
just
not only
watched
that, but like
Wolverine
also
scene
like,
where
oh,
he's
we can use scrolls, but we can't use scrolls.
Shout out to
I was-
Bergens.
I was going to say one of the things from what was it, Days of Future Past, is where Wolverine tells Beast, "You don't know it yet, but we're going to be good friends."
Yeah.
Well,
I love First Class. I love Days of Future Past.
All the prequels were good, I thought.
Yeah,
Except for
I
Phoenix.
enjoyed all of them.
Phoenix was
Well,
kind of eh.
No,
Yeah.
Phoenix is a shit show masterpiece of the seventh layer of hell. Hitler is pulling a pineapple out of his ass to shove down my throat while Satan vomits lava into me when I watch that film. With
That's
the
too
exception of
descriptive.
You just came up with that just like this
Now
second.
there's a visual.
That's too descriptive. That's terrible.
That's
It
terrible.
is. It is. Welcome.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
Welcome to my mental nightmares, Smugs.
I'm gonna have nightmares now. Thank you.
Really? For what?
Anyway,
Taking pineapples off my shopping list.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a minute before we go around the horn, since this is my first Sunday lineup show, to promote the Sunday lineup. And thanks to Durst for graciously allowing me to use the slides that he showed on Instagram. So coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have the Sunday Sort. That's Phil, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then we got the Council of Comics,
Woo.
5 p.m. Eastern, and y'all are covering, what is it? Chronicles of Riddick?
No, this one's just Riddick. We did Chronicles last
Just
week.
Riddick. You know what? I've only watched Pitch Black. I haven't watched anything else.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think you need. I was gonna say, Tony, you don't need to watch anything else. Pitch Black is just great, and I think
Leave them alone, Cliff. Let him watch them. They're fire, man. It's his
You
origin
didn't
story
like
and everything.
Riddick, like Chronicles of
But on
Riddick.
the other hand, Tony, I
Yeah,
clearly
Chronicles
hate
is
most movies, so go for it.
I liked all of those.
I was gonna say I'll be joining Durs for the Sunday sesh.
I will too.
We got Kicking with K-pop at 7 p.m. Eastern. We got Mark, Legion of Comics, 8 weeks end at 8:30.
No, Star Trek Discovery just had its big finale. We're going to be diving into that tonight with Super Trekkie, aggressively relaxing, and my main man with Pots and Pans, Sector 2815, who is also a diehard Trekkie. This is the end of an era. A lot of big things are on the
Are they
horizon.
dressing up?
Red shirts only. So it's up to them if they got
Cool.
red shirts. They can
then
participate at their own risk.
And then Trev and Evil Michael close out Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now, I was going to say I'm going to go around the horn, but I pretty much just ruined everybody's.
Yeah.
We'll start with Vogs. Vogs, tell us what you got coming up.
Man, I'm everywhere, but I'm gonna make it short and sweet.
He's everywhere
this week-
he needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna bring up the comic ones because I'm on a lot of streams. Tuesday night, I will be on Paul and the 619 and his amazing friends. Wednesday, I'm not going to be on this Wednesday because I've already shown most of my comics, but I'm normally on Chris the Comic Vets and Trev's bagging, boarding, and BS stream on Wednesdays. Thursday, I'm going to be on Gary B's 1011. Showing my favorite books and giving a story. Let's see. Saturday, no stream. Friday, no stream. Saturday, no comic streams. Sundays, here when I can make it. And then also on Durs's, which I'll be on later.
All right. And speaking of Durs, what you got coming up, brother?
Man, I just want Heroes Con to be here. That's all I care about. I'm
I
just
know.
being
Can't
lazy.
wait to meet you, bro.
I'm being lazy, man. I'm not monetized. I don't care. There'll probably only be like one video next week because, like I said, I'm budgeting for Heroes Con. Total rebrand change. My stickers should be here tomorrow. They should be here tomorrow. Just got to double check the tracking, but they're shipped. So look out for total new logo change, new all that kind of stuff. And then, like I said, after Heroes Con, I'm gonna be doing things differently on my channel. I wanna do things differently. So yeah, man, just biding time and just ready for my vacation.
Yeah, I'm ready to meet you, man.
Live at 6. Come hang out.
Yep. And excuse me, Rich, what you got going on?
Well, I actually just dropped the video today comparing the JSA certification versus the verified. So if you guys ever use facilitator services at cons and don't want to get ripped off anymore, check out that video because I think it's pretty interesting. I do have a Chris Claremont CGC unboxing coming tomorrow, so I'll do an unboxing sometime this week, and then I'm typically here with you on now Sundays. That's all I got.
Yeah, come here.
Mark, what you got coming up, brother? And you already said
videos every Monday and Wednesday. If you're a channel member, they're already available to you on the community tab. You can find those right there. Vlogs are every Wednesday, and live stream for New DC Day every Tuesday at 2, which is a banger of a good time. Legion Lair hangout on Friday mornings. And every Sunday night at 8:30, it's At Week's In, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics, movies, TV shows, and more. Don't forget.
It kills me. Oh.
Just show this off a lot. I'm giving that away.
Yeah,
nice.
I got the.
Let's go, Papa Wheelie.
Hey,
I'm praying. I'm
Can I
praying.
say something real quick before we
hold
end?
on.
Mark,
Hold
I
on,
can make it on Friday. I don't work.
I'm just.
What?
I don't work Friday. I'm able to actually make it if you want me on panel.
Oh, yeah, dude, if you just pop in there. I just send out the link to people who pop in.
Sounds good.
I was going to say.
Open
I-
invite.
I always want to go to Mark's streams during the week, but I'm usually at work. So I mean.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, that Tuesday one seems to be the one. That's like that always has a huge crowd in there.
Yeah. Are you jumping on Durst tonight?
I jump on
Yeah,
Durst every night.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, and Cliff. After that, what you got?
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is
Whoa, whoa,
behind
whoa,
you?
Behind who?
What this
This beautiful.
C3 beautiful print because I'm representing C3 because
I
Panther should
understand that. I understand that, Cliff, but there's plenty of wall space for something to be majestically underneath it.
No.
My heart
I feel like
is absolutely broken.
I've
What
been
did you
waiting for
do?
you to say something for a freaking hour.
I just seen it. We've all been small in the corner.
You couldn't tell that suddenly the visual changed drastically over here.
I'm shocked is my initial reaction. But shout out to at least it is the homie Brand Flakes and it is supporting C3.
Right, I was gonna
But
say I figured you would give me a break so long as I was supporting C3.
I was just a little.
I framed it. I'm very proud of myself.
Yes, I was just a little gut punched. It wasn't a valley of truths.
Do you know that somebody said Cliff nice window to me the other day?
See, it works, dude.
Yeah, Cliff, look. It's Spider-Man looking at you from a window.
No. From when I had the Hudson River painting, which is just so funny. Shout out to Rachel Williams Art.
I was gonna say now that you kind of mentioned it, it does look like Spidey's judging you.
Well, as he should. You
should go talk to him after the show.
There's a listen. You know what? Spidey should be ashamed from all the penis action he's seen in this room. So
What the hell?
A lot of masturbation. Peter probably does too. A lot of relationship problems that guy has.
Right. Peter's we can't see where his hands are. He's probably going at it.
It's not webbing coming out of those hands. I'll tell you that.
No, but it's certainly sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
For some reason, mildly traumatizing Vogs that's really like.
No, it makes me laugh. I love it because I'm traumatized myself from other things too.
Well, I hope nothing terrible.
Yes, terrible things.
No.
Now I'm making Cliff upset.
No, but you have no idea. I started my communications class last week, and I'm going through chapter 1 with everybody, and then we immediately hit on mental, verbal, and physical abuse, and I'm trembling. I'm trembling reading the slide because I'm so afraid of what people in the room have experienced because it's not like I'm in a normal classroom. Every one of my clients has absolutely experienced trauma, right? So I don't want to get into topics that are just straight up going to derail them.
So you save it for the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Y'all can take it to bed. So but my prostate is very healthy. No, so I got.
Thanks for the update.
I got the council. Y'all knew my prostate was healthy. I got the council at 5 tonight. We're doing Riddick. Council tomorrow for New Keys and Hot Comics on Mondays at 8 p.m. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. We've made New Comic Book Day a live event, and I'm losing track of time and space and reality. My suicide awareness is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and you can contact me for the link if you don't have it today, if you'd like to join. And Sundays is Coffee and Comics with Cliff. This week's guest was Carrie, the officially unofficial geek. That was a great show. Last week I had DJ Links. The week before I had John's Comics Sans Kids. And it's all been lovely. I'm really enjoying these Saturday mornings.
I checked my mailbox earlier today and every day this week. I guess my invitation was fucking lost.
No, your invitation got lost with Gary's. And Durs went mute. You're so fucking funny.
I'm never available on Saturday, so it's okay.
I like how Cliff puts up with me.
I do put up with
Cliff. Cliff tolerates me.
Tolerate is a very powerful word.
That's how I feel about my girlfriend.
Oh, that's
Your
terrible.
girlfriend tolerates you. We've witnessed this, Durs.
Right there.
We've witnessed
Yeah,
it. She
exactly,
tolerates
Rob.
you.
Exactly.
That you tolerate me?
Mark, you know I want you, but between C3 and Heroes Con, I'm afraid to reach out to you at this moment in time.
Yeah, everyone's always been afraid to reach out to me. It's
I like to message him on the.
I'm not normally.
Durs is the only person not afraid to reach out to me.
I reached out to Durs and Mark when I found out I'm going to the meet and greet. They're like, yes. No, Durs is like, you got to be effing kidding me. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. He's like, yes.
So anyhow, I mean that, and I just try to make sure that I don't have a mental collapse and deteriorate from the earth. So that's it. Those are my. That's what I got going on.
Doggy.
You know. Oh, Rob, I know Mark is a reach around guy, but I'm not a backdoor guy. So Mark has to give me the reach around.
Cliff, knowing that you're spearheading a suicide prevention seminar while trying to keep your shit together is not very promising, buddy.
Why would you say that?
It's just common sense.
I don't think so. I think that it's important.
Like, who watches The Watchmen? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I got people that watch me, so it's okay.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. The important thing is, especially Rich. I got Rich watching me. I had one.
Rich is shaking his head. It's like you're failing.
You're failing. I have one nervous breakdown on TikTok. Rich is there like lightning.
I'm like, dude, you okay?
At least you asked
Rich,
me.
Rich is like, we need a plan. We need a plan. We need lunch.
Yeah.
Man, I left a fantasy football league and got reached out by 3 people. Hey, man, is everything okay? I'm like, dude, yeah. I don't have time for it right now.
I feel bad because people have reached out to me for stuff that I really want to do, and like I just don't have time. My shit is just not together to do more. I'm struggling just so I can get, Crisis Quest trivia back on the map, which is a goal for this month.
Well, I just want to throw this out here. Maybe you're just terrible at time management because you've sat here with us for an hour and 29 minutes when you could have been prepping your Crisis trivia.
Yeah, I was supposed to be prepping your
in
life.
case you've ever heard me talk about my mental health, my time management skills absolutely suck. Yes.
Same.
You need to multitask.
Yeah, no, I can. You know when I can multitask best, Mark? You know when I multitask best?
God.
When I'm spending money that I have no business spending. All of a sudden, I'm a fucking superstar,
Retail therapy. That's called therapy. That's retail therapy.
It is. I did a class on it. And do you know what I accomplished in that class? Exposing myself because no one in the room other than me was self-aware that they have this problem.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you found a good coupon group to join.
Now, I already got like 20 coupon groups. It is terrible. I never. Okay. And Groupon sucks now. Ever since you figured out what it actually is,
Tony's going to need a seminar by the time we're done.
Yeah, let's hear what Tony has.
We're holding him hostage.
if y'all only knew how hard my therapist works,
Tony, your turn.
I'll be your therapist.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Tuesday will be my Comiverse community shout-outs in This Week in Comic History. I'll have that done. I got 24 comics celebrating anniversaries this week. Next coming Saturday, I didn't drop a spotlight because I had a lot of stuff to do, so I will still be doing Amazing Spider-Man 200 for the comic book spotlight. And then back here next week for hopefully my buddy Brandon Jones will be on the show talking about his Kickstarter for The Evil That Men Do. That's going to be published by Black Box Comics. He is one of the owners of my LCS, so I'm looking forward to talking to him about that. Then I'll be back later tonight on Durs's show, and I'm going to play this clip to show you just how much fun we have on Durs's show sometimes.
Hope you learned something. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys to death. gonna run the outro, and I need to make a new one if I'm gonna have a new brand. So, like I said, man,
Tony,
stay.
God damn. Tony's like the coolest motherfucker ever.
Oh, he's over there sipping his cigar. He needs like a glass of what would be some good whiskey. He needs to have a good whiskey glass and everything. Just chilling.
Hey, the cliff shirt.
Dude, I'm still laughing last week.
The cliff shirts too.
Yeah, that's right. Justice for Cliff.
Hawaiian shirts.
That's right. And so yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out with Durs on Sunday Sesh. I have a bunch of books for the cover theme, mostly slabs. So I'm gonna call this, if Rob's still watching, my audition for hopefully only slabs. We'll see. And I got some books for the new comic book day that I'm gonna show off. I picked some out of the stack because I had a lot.
Hey Tony, if you're trying to get on only slabs, Rob's doing open booking for August right now.
Yeah, I know. And coincidentally, sometime in the future, I'll be doing an unboxing video for my third win from Only Slabs.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. And but that's basically it. I'm going to say thank you to everyone in the panel for hanging out and talking about Transformers and everything. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the chat as well. And we're going to get out of here. Join us back at 6 Eastern, 5 Central for the Sunday Sesh. And everyone, thanks for showing up for this special episode. And reminder, next week, I'm going to do 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. And that'll be that from now on. And we're going to end it with the Turtles. So we will see y'all next time.
Well, dudes, I'd say that's pretty much a wrap. Yep. Cowabunga?
Cowabunga.
Yeah.
Cow.